Greetings from Lakewood, Ohio. Today is Sunday, October 13th, 2024. It is about 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time and 60 degrees. You can see this is the Madison Rapid Station at 117th. Trains are still going through there, but they're not stopping. They're really renovating that station or doing some work for a while, and they've got some road work that's been going on here. But today we're going to try to do a little bit of a Halloween video through Lakewood, showing off some Halloween houses. Hopefully we're able to find enough houses in time and while it's still daylight and before it rains too. You can see the clouds in the background kind of fit the element of the spooky mood that we're trying to set. We also don't want it to rain because that's not conducive to videos, but I'll be stopping and starting the video as I come across certain houses and then try to point out where I see what streets those houses are on. As we reach 117th and Madison, I'm going to make a left-hand turn to get into Lakewood because that way would be the Cleveland side. It is starting to rain a little bit now, but over there at Ola, you have some pumpkins and spider webs set up on their exterior display. As we approach the Birdtown neighborhood. Well, unfortunately, it's raining pretty heavily now, but we're at the corner of Dowd and Plover. You can see the nice setup that they have here. This was recommended by a couple people I saw online. Got the guitar, the band, the drums, big wolf in the background, Grim Reaper, skeleton setup, little graveyard, headless horseman, the spider, the big web. It's a very neat display how they have everything arranged, and you've got several setups. Then the witches brewing their witch's pot, the tree. That tree is actually, think of it is a Halloween tree. Sorry, my glasses are a little wet from all the rain. And there's a skeleton hanging out down there. So yeah, very nice display set up here. And usually I don't come down this way, so I don't see it. Well, the rain got even heavier, really heavy, so unfortunately all soaked now. But going back down Dowd, you can see a nice scary life-size Michael Myers. If you just turned the corner and you saw that, welcome to Haddonfield, that would probably freak you out, right? So that's Madison Park and the Madison Library, where we just were near the Spooky Pooch Parade the other day. Now I'm going to look at Clarence and Madison. Someone pointed out another house that was down Clarence. Actually, it's the Beetlejuice house, and I can see it just a little bit down the way. Well, this time of year, because it's an election year, you're of course going to see, in addition to Halloween decorations, a ton of political signs all up and down the street. But here is the Beetlejuice house representing the movie. Very creative designs. Little house that says "Welcome to Winter River," and some of this seems like homemade stuff. You got the big snake thing, Beetlejuice on top of the house sitting. Beetlejuice, Zagnut, incredibly crunchy, and the caution tape lining the front yard. So again, that's the Beetlejuice house, but not everyone has huge decorations. You can see some people just have the nice little eek and boo. And you look down at the next house, you got the orange flowers, which are fitting for the theme, but also the little glowing pumpkin with the cat. This house even has their street sign decorated with some stuff. And you got the nice flowers, pumpkins, and orange lights on the front porch. And then the next house with the haystack and pumpkins representing the fall season. Some trees starting to turn colors, even though the street has a lot of greenery in it. Alright, so next up I'm going to try to go down the Franklin Avenue and maybe backtrack a couple streets. I know usually off of Franklin has a couple of houses that have nice inflatables. Hopefully the rain didn't knock those down, so we'll see that in a second. Actually, before I go on to Franklin, I'm on the other side of Clarence now, and some more nice simple decorations, a little boo, and that's part of the fun too. Even though for mapping purposes, I like to seek out the big houses. It makes for a very nice walk at this time of year. Would have been better if it hadn't just rained during that stretch, but it's just nice to see all the little houses decorating, including that one up there that's got some pumpkins on the front porch. Everyone just getting into the fall spirit. As I go down Franklin, another house with little ghost hanging and the pumpkin. This house in general, I love the color scheme and look of it. And I know it's probably hard to see, but that blue one across the street has some little decorations up. Here's more of an up-close shot of some of those decorations. Now you can see like the little witch on the front porch, the tree, and all the little ghost pumpkin or white ghost. A little bit further on Clarence, see the lights on top, the skeletons and crows on the ground, tiny skeleton on the porch. And then if we diagonal to the other end of Clarence, you have a miniature graveyard and some of the pumpkins. I recognized some of these decorations from Target, shopping there in the past. The rain is picking back up, but here at Cohasset, you've got some inflatables, the big T-Rex skeleton, big pumpkin, and the tree. The evil tree with the skeletons hanging from it. Very nice. And then just a tad further down, we've got another inflatable. Looks more like a solo inflatable, or two tiny ones. A little ghost with a spider and some pumpkin lights dangling. And then here between Cohasset and Alameda, you can see the Halloween inflatables, the Happy Halloween sign, Winnie the Pooh popping out of the pumpkin. This house always decorates for the holidays, whether it be Christmas, Halloween, Easter, Thanksgiving. They always do a cute little setup, so we always love coming by this one for all these years. Now we're on the opposite side of Cohasset and Franklin. There's that house I just showed down that way. So this way is going toward Detroit Avenue. One of those streets that's nice with all the big giant houses. So any time of the season, it's a pleasant walk to do down here. But over here on the left side, you've got some spider webs going from the house. Skeleton walking their dog. The little candlelight effects. You have a porch with more spider webs. Another spider web jetting out from the front porch tree, or front yard tree rather. One of the fall themed ones with the pumpkin patch arch, the little pumpkins. They're made of maybe ceramic. Skeleton zombie you can see there. Then further down Cohasset. Don't know if I've ever seen this inflatable. It's a fun little dinosaur with a witch hat, and the green dinosaur has a candy corn character in its hand. And then if you keep on walking down, looks like we've got one more house down here. Oh, and there's Michael Myers, another Michael Myers, flashing the light across the street. Not sure if you can make him out. Sadly, the one inflatable here is down. You've got a little pumpkin arch walkway with a skeleton sitting on a chair in between. And then the next one also has a front yard, more of the, like where you would normally see the bushes, the tombstones coming out of the ground, the skeletons, potions and poisons that they're drinking. Still on Cohasset here, but getting closer to Detroit. Got some more houses with small decorations. And then down here you've got a mixture of skeletons, including one that's trying to pop out of its casket. And I don't know if it's just a body bag like attached to the tree, or if there's actually like a mini skeleton in there. And I can tell there's some more inflatables on that final house down there, like a little archway with a tiny, I want to say it's a penguin. So now we are coming back up Clarence from Detroit, just 2 streets down from Cohasset. You can see this first house off of Detroit has a cemetery in their front yard. Nice little red lighting effects up here. Some skeletons in this yard. There's one up against the tree, some popping out of the ground. What's this? We got a dinosaur skeleton hiding in the trees. Big skull. Almost looks like someone took one of those 12-foot skeletons and deconstructed it as opposed to standing it up like a lot of people do. There's even like an alien skeleton back there. So then if I cross the street, you can see a pumpkin archway over here. Welcome mortals. There's also half of a body hanging from the ceiling or top of the front porch. And a skeleton sitting on this one's front porch. Now we're at the corner of Lewis and Franklin. My mom had showed me this house before, but unfortunately due to the storm or rain that we just had, you can see how a lot of the inflatables are knocked down, like the big, what I believe to be a Frankenstein, the ghost over there, and the pumpkin head over there in the background. The only ones standing are the ones that aren't tall, really, like these cool pumpkin spiders, the spider itself, pumpkins with the cat. I like how they have the inflatables, like the octopus legs coming out of the windows. I don't know if I've ever quite seen a house with inflatables coming out of the window, so that's like a new touch. What about the cat archway? The cat archway is still standing. That one may be easier because it's like on all fours as opposed to just having like one base. And then over here you've got the 3 little ghosts and the haunted tree. A new day. It's sunny today on October 17th, 2024, around 5 o'clock p.m. This is Madison Avenue now, kind of close to where Hilliard would be at Westwood. Madison has a lot of businesses and not so many houses, but there's this one, I don't know if this is a house or just some other place, but it's very cool how they have it set up like a wedding ceremony going on. And you have the skeleton as the priest or minister getting ready for the wedding, the bride and the groom, and then all of the, if you want to call them family and friends, enjoying the ceremony, and all the chairs which have all the symbols. So like they really paid attention to the details of the theme here. And then at the intersection of Hilliard Road and Atkins, you have this nice house. So you have the two giant skeletons. One of them's walking a big skeleton dog, and you have some mini skeleton dogs and other various skeleton animals there. The fence has it. I like the theme back there. You've got these unique pillars back there with the skeleton or skull theme, as well as the pumpkins that are attached to the tree. Oh, little horse-drawn carriage, another skeleton theme. The big spider. Then we've got the big werewolf. Two werewolves, one with the flannel, one without. Oh, it's funny, it's also, instead of Hilliard, Halliard. So they're really digging into the theme of the address. More pumpkin stacks, and then all the way down here they've got even more stuff. The witch that seems like she's floating because of the huge broom. I don't know what to call these, like almost like gargoyle type things or demogorgons. There's some on the fence too. A tree, a unique skeleton there. Another tree, and then more pumpkins on the ground. Skeleton with a pumpkin head, a real life dog, and then some dragons. Yeah, so Halliard with a very nice theme. And then 2 blocks further down on McKinley, you have this cool thing with the big eyeballs, the teeth on the front porch. You see how the front porch steps have the tongue, and then also the things coming out of the ground. So that's a pretty cool, unique theme for the Halloween season. Making our way toward Canon Avenue to see their annual Halloween houses, but Bruella, you can see they've got Halloween decorations, as do a lot of the businesses on Madison Avenue. This artist uncorked place on Madison always has little artwork in the window. It's pretty cool, especially near the Halloween season. I can't remember if they do it near Christmas. And I also don't remember if these are the same ones that they feature every year, or if they have a new variety. But yeah, you've got a few more down this way, like the witches and Hocus Pocus. So I'm headed down the road, Spring Garden, and along the side of this property they have a ton of pumpkins. I don't know if I've ever quite seen so many like real pumpkins. I know that's along the side of their house, so pretty nice landscaping. Not sure if they have it along the front as well. Yep, it's all along their front too. So it's like the pumpkin house. So this is a little street off of Spring Garden called Archdale. Someone pointed out Archdale on the Facebook group I was reading, and I didn't know, because I didn't check the map, like where exactly Archdale was, so I just stumbled across this. So this is, yeah, pretty fun looking. The witch over there is the same witch as the Hilliard Road one that we saw earlier. Look, you've got the Crookshank, Rainmaker, Medicine Man, skeleton body, spiders down below, Halloween Manor. Oh, look, and it just lit up too. I don't know if that was a timer or someone saw me, or maybe it was activated. Cleveland Guardians are actually playing a playoff game right now. They got the old Chief Wahoo here. I'm not sure how much you can see it, but there's a skeleton Browns dog there. And you do have a couple of skeletons just very simply chilling in their front yard with their skeleton dog and the makeshift campfire. Skeleton also in the tree, skeleton bat, little werewolf. Still on Spring Garden, you got one of those giant webs, a couple of grave markers, mini skeletons. So we're right next to Canon Avenue. Literally, it's the next block, but leading up to that, you got a couple inflatables here with Snoopy, the little dinosaur. And then the corner house on Canon. I've seen this house before. I thought they used to have a huge cat in their front yard and other stuff on the side, although it does say for rent, so I don't know if it's new people or if they went with a different theme this year. So over here on the west side of Canon Avenue, I don't know if this house it's probably not completely finished with their decorations yet. Let me try to take a peek what they're planning though. They've got a pool or something. Yeah, clearly they're still working on stuff, but they do have like almost like a castle theme going on. So it'll be interesting to see what they set up. So the big hands there. Then we've got the massive Frankenstein inflatable. Definitely different from past years. Just as tall as the house. You got the big pumpkin here too. Sort of looks like Casper, the friendly ghost. And then some of the skeletons kind of strewn around. I feel like the wind may have blown the setup down or something. Unless they're just like all shackled and that's what it's supposed to be showing, like they're struggling. Usually it's a little bit different over there with the theme. And then over here is the house that's frequently the most decorated on Canon. Looks like he has a lot of new stuff this year, at least to my recollection. Frankenstein's monster, shackled. You have a band playing, a bunch of rock stars, and then the ghost inflatable. An archway up front here. And then the pumpkin creature. Also on Canon, you got a little three-headed dragon. Not sure if I see a whole lot more up yet. It is October 17th already, but so usually there's some couple pirate ship themed things down here. Yes, it is the pirate ship themed things. First you've got this one over here. The cardboard cut out of the water, the shark. But the more elaborate one is across the street. You can see all the detailed designs, the rope that the skeleton's climbing to get away from the ship. This one's about to lasso a floaty to save someone. You got one catching a fish, someone brewing up rum, pirates with their swords. Like seashells covering their body. skeleton with a parrot, an actual parrot, not a skeleton parrot. More little skeletons climbing, and this whole big thing, a pirate ship. The guillotine over there. And then the little side street just off of Canon Avenue has the Ghostbusters theme. They seem to vary it up every year, though. And I mean, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, that's always like the coolest thing ever. And you've got Slimer up there with the way that, especially at nighttime, it looks like he's floating. And I love I'm assuming that's like an original painted thing, the Ghostbusters car, as well as the Slimer. And then that kind of gives like a little Manhattan vibe. You got the Ghostbusters logo on the door itself. And then up top in those windows you have illuminated ghost of Slimer, as well as, I think that's the Pac-Man thing, like the enemy that chases you. Oh, it's getting darker. You can see the skeleton on that one actually has digital eyes. So hopefully the decorations still show up if we focus on the illuminated parts. The front porch has like a space outfit. And then some more skeletons on that side. Hi, Mr. Skeleton, above the archway. And the spider web above the pond. And then deja vu, we are back at that house on Lewis that had all the inflatables, but now, of course, it wasn't a rainy day, so we get to see them in all their glory, standing upright and, lit up nicely at nighttime. It's the same Frankenstein we ended up seeing earlier, but very massive, stands out among the crowd, and I still love these cool pumpkin spiders and the other spider. And then over this way, the kitty cat with the pumpkins, and then we saw some of these other ones that were still upright in that rainstorm. The cat's archway, the hand with the eyeball on it, and the tree. So just love the display there, and the big jack-o'-lantern guy. And that's where I stopped filming on that rainy day. So we're going to show one more house, at least down this way, that also had some cool inflatables. So this one is also on Lewis in Lakewood. All the inflatables. Hopefully you can see them. I know it's dark out. Enter if you dare. The Boo. The skeleton. The dragon. There's a tree. The little archway here. And then the pumpkin. And more Frankenstein imagery in the background. Looks like there's also a skeleton dog back there. Another one on Lewis before we wrap things up. Big skeleton walking its dog with a little graveyard and werewolf. And then to wrap things up, you got a string of houses here. First the graveyard with the lights surrounding it. Orange spiderweb. The next house has more of a look pumpkin theme. Pumpkin celebrating with other carved out pumpkins and a big spider in the bush. And then we've got two more houses with inflatables. I actually don't remember the final one from when I passed by the other day. But that seems like a fitting spot to wrap it up. Some unique ones I haven't seen before. The Oogie Boogie, you got the skeleton on the spinning board being stretched out. There's like a clown. Jack Skellington. haunted mansion. Even have like a Santa sleigh. Well, if you enjoyed this Halloween stroll through Lakewood, feel free to hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you for tuning in, everyone, and happy Halloween.